Hi everyone, I'm Joey and welcome to the Playroom workshop. I am no longer in my workshop. I'm not going to be travelling every day to work there. So I've brought what I can back to my house. I've taken over what is kind of like a little basement room where the kids play, and I'm going to be doing some hand tool only work. I've got a small supply of walnut, and I've always wanted to take on a hand tool only job. Just to see if I can do it, if I can put some of my theory into practice. And so I'm going to be making a shaker style sideboard, shaker inspired. I've really got no solid plans. I've got some ideas in my head and I'm just going to go from there. So I'm going to be posting the journey as often as I can during this period. And so the first thing to do with this is to start working on the legs, because why not? So here we go.
What's that stuff there?
This stuff?
Yeah.
This is partly some little bits of metal coming off the blade and partly some bits of stone. So it mixes up. I think the Japanese call it inari or something like that. And it helps to sharpen the stone. It helps to sharpen the blade. Sounds sharp.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is just take the little corners off, so when I plane a piece of wood, the corners don't dig in.
How do you get the corners back corners?
I could just sharpen it square again, but you really don't want the corners anytime, because you don't want the corners to dig in.
What is that?
What's that?
That.
This is the cap iron, and it clamps everything in place. For the duration of this build, this will be classed as a hand tool also, just in case you were wondering. So this is my kit set workbench that I bought from the workshop. Just before I left, I whipped together this vise. So anyone who has been watching my channel from the start would possibly remember that I had a setup a bit like this right at the beginning. So these are the actual two vices that I used to have. What I like about this setup, having two completely separate vices, and it really only works, I think, with these kind of cheaper quality vices that allow a lot of racking. And so what it means is that you can grip oddly shaped pieces. So I can actually rack the vices quite a lot to clamp angled pieces, which may come in handy very shortly. So I converted my number 5.5 to kind of a 4-plane. I've moved back the frog slightly to open up the mouth, and I've put a radius on the blade. Now I'm not skilled really at doing that, so I haven't filmed it because I've just kind of guessed my way through it, and I have managed to form a radius. So let's see if it works as a roughing plane. playing with that. And then back onto my number 5, which is set up actually with fairly open throat, open mouth actually, but it still seems to take quite fine shavings. So this is obviously against the grain looking at it, so see if I can play in this way. Too heavy. I'll certainly make this my reference corner and then work from there. Now referencing my square corner, I can scribe my finished width of my board. And I can plane the other two sides down to those scribe lines and make them square and keep it perfect. And we're not far off, so I'm just going to use the 4 plane and take all the waste off much closer to my line. So I've probably got a good 2.5 mil to take off, so it's much quicker to use the roughing plane. Like that. I'll check back in when I finish this leg. Okay, I'm not finished this leg, but I just realized something. Now that I'm onto the 4th side, so I've got 3 sides that are pretty well square, I've scribed a line on both sides of my piece. So what I'm thinking of is, given that my vice chop is so long, I can actually sit my board in the vise until I can just see my scribe line on both sides, and then essentially I know I'm square and I just have to plane down until I'm touching my chop, which seems like a easy way to do things. It's probably an old trick, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. Okay, it's a little bit hard to see, but you know you're at your depth and you get a little piece of timber come off, peel away, and that's where the marking gauge went into the side of the timber. So you know when to stop. Pretty cool, huh? So one end of this plank was pretty square and it's remained pretty good. So the other end's not so good. So I've marked all these as my tops, and I can measure my length and cut them. Pretty sure that this Veritas needs a sharpen. So I'm just going to have to put up with a slightly blunt saw. I've got some others, but I don't have a back saw, I don't think. Almost. So I have switched it back over to the other side of the vise. It's a bit more of a pain in the ass, but I'm more comfortable with the material on this side. Okay, now that they're all reasonably the same size, I've marked the top. This is my front right. I've marked 100mm down, and this is the outside corner. And what I'm going to do is taper the legs on the outside only down from 40mm down to 30mm, and leaving the inside corner straight. So I've marked out the first taper. Just get something that is reasonably straight, like one of my legs. I'll try and plane that down. So here we go. Again, I'm going to use my bench as a reference, so I'll clamp my piece in the vise on an angle, and then try and plane down to somewhere flush with my workbench, and that'll get me really close to where I need to be. Okay. Much nicer. Okay, so there is the first leg finished, pretty well finished, tapered, and so I've got 3 more to go. So wish me luck on that. I will see you on the next episode as soon as I can get it to you. Can you even see me?